worked upon, but they need to be discussed upon on a global platform like this. A few approaches that can be used are explainable AI models, or utilizing unbiased training data, which is actually not which is easier said than done. And then ensuring unbiased and regulatory audits and collaborative governments on a global level, considering all the geographical hierarchies, is also an important step. So, in conclusion, as we explore the innovative ways to harness AI's potential, we let us also remain steadfast in a commitment to responsible and ethical deployment in finance. Finally, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each one of you for lending me your time and attention. And I would look forward to potential collaboration and further discussion on this critical topic. Now, I would like to move forward to our next speaker, Diego. Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much, Harsh. Hello all. Let me also share my screen. Hopefully I'm doing this correctly. And hopefully we can all see that. So, well, hello all. My name is Diego. I should do a little introduction here just to make sure everyone's on the same page. I also have different templates based on the GAEIA way of doing things, just like now. And I decided to use the one that I am not very proficient in it. I come from a very legal background, but I have been working in an educational startup for the past year. I am based in Berlin, and I've been talking to a lot of different German universities. And there is this consensus that everyone is very worried about how AI tools, and let's think here like ChatGPT type of tool, can impact education. So we could talk a lot about how AI will and is impacting education right now. It impacts in the sense of how can we have better safeguards against plagiarism, or how is human interaction being changed, or how human input is being changed, or even how content is being delivered and created. However, today there are many great speakers in this that everyone's going to listen to it today, way better qualified than I am. So I decided to go for a little bit of a different route, which is the discussion of how we should tackle AI. As I said before, because I come from a very legal background, lawyers tend to really care about definitions and responsibility. And I would like to maybe put it in the table that we can see in a lot of different pieces of legislation how AI is seen as norms, is very much an idea of how something will come out of AI. And I would like to encourage everyone here to think AI as a product and the consequences that comes with it. AI is a manufactured product, is something being done by someone, and this someone will have bias, will upload bias, this someone will have its own ideas and frameworks in place, and this will create consequences. And particularly for the sector of education, this should be very well thought and very much discussed, which again, I'm sure today discussions are going to be really great about it. So my little contribution here, especially because I don't have that much time here to talk about, is that two things. One, although we could think of different ways of handling this, the main idea is collaboration to different sectors, collaboration from different institutions, collaboration with different players, and how this can actually be translated into legislation and norms, and how this legislation should be tackling AI as a manufactured product, which comes with specific responsibilities, as the same way we legislate about the pharmaceutical sector or energy sector or automobile sector, whatever. And how can from that we can create pieces of legislation that has, let's say, bite, that actually can create consequences. This is pretty much my small contribution here. And now, as Elise said in the beginning, our next speaker is Iris. Her dilemma particularly is quite interesting, and encapsulates GAEIA's idea perfectly, because she really sees, she really is an innovator working with something in real life and providing a technical solution for it. So it is, if you're around.
Thank you, Diego. Let's start. On February 6, a devastating earthquake happened in Turkey and Syria. Here's a picture of a dad holding his daughter's unmoving hand. I wanted to put this photo as it is one of the most touching pictures I saw about the disaster. There's a huge numbers in the aftermath, and interestingly, it was managed as a confidential case to protect privacy, which also helped the government to perform without the pressure of media and the civil society. Now, I will discuss how the disaster influenced our journey towards developing a solution while pointing out the dilemmas we have encountered. Deeply impacted by the disaster, we tried to manage the needs outside the zone. However, it wasn't enough. So we decided to help systematically by digitalizing the physical therapy journey for the earthquake survivors. We named the startup as Terapim, in Turkish My Therapy. Terapim reminds patients their daily physiotherapy exercises and monitors their home exercises through an AI system called pose estimation and provides audio correction. Then it reports the daily performance of the patient to our partner medical center, and the physiotherapist of the center rearranges the exercise remotely from therapy. So an earthquake survivor's exercise plan can be rearranged by a physiotherapist in Istanbul. Here's a clip.
Get ready for your calibration process. Please do not move your camera. The workout is starting. Next move is diagonal side stretch. Iris, stretch right arm above your head further.
Digitalization triggered ethical and practical dilemmas, offering valuable lessons for us. And the first one we have encountered was, we needed a well-rounded target analysis, but government shares very limited data from the earthquake zone. When there's not enough data to rely on, how is it possible to make a real impact on the earthquake zone? So we got in touch with various professionals and we decided to expand our target group outside the disaster zone. Sorry. But it opened up a second dilemma because different demographic groups have different needs. Some groups requires high accessibility and some prioritize service quality. In our case, a single camera increases accessibility, but a two-camera system is better at depth estimation. So accessibility and service quality, they are generally negatively correlated. The question is, after widening our target group, whose needs should we prioritize? People from the earthquake zone with low accessibility to hardware, or people outside the zone requiring the best service quality? We decided to move on with a single camera system to prioritize accessibility, and now we're working on to enhance our depth estimation. And lastly, our last dilemma is that we cannot ask people in the disaster zone to pay for the solution because they're already financially in need. So we need to get commercialized to create a self-sufficient system and provide a service free of charge. But how do we do that when time is our top priority? How do we keep our focus on the main target group when we prioritize getting bigger? This is the question we're still asking to ourselves. I believe it is one of the most important questions for social innovators. Please reach out to me if you think there is a solution. Use my mail address and my contact number. We are very committed to make a positive change. Hope you like it. Thank you, and thank you all for who presented.
Thank you, Iris. And we have a couple minutes actually to ask some questions. Spencer, I think you had a question.
Yeah, thank you, Iris, and everyone from the working cohort too. My question is, what has been the biggest learning experience for all of you working with students across the world and across disciplines too?
I can have a couple of words. I think a dilemma opens up another one. So it's like a chain. Once you dig in, you realize that there is more to it. And also when you think about it, nearly every areas, they are all connected in a way. So it's unlimited. I think that's one of the most important lessons I've learned about the ethical dilemmas.
Okay, I would like to add something. Yeah, Kunal, you could. Okay.
Thank you. For me, coming from an engineering background, when I encountered these ethical dilemmas, I realized a lot of these dilemmas arise from technological solutions or technological products. And in engineering, we're taught, well, we're not really taught that much ethics, but we have at least 1 or 2 lectures on ethics. After that, it's back to engineering, it's back to problem-solving methods. So highlighting the need for morality and ethics in engineering is probably the takeaway I would like to, the takeaway I have from this cohort. It's really a lacking thing in most STEM subjects.
Yeah, on a similar line, for me, it has been the variation on the demographic basis for each of the ethical dilemma. That was really something which I usually did not think of prior to joining here. The variation which comes in with the different demographical factors, that is something which was very new, and that is something which I learned from here.
I think for me, it was a very surprise to working with, across the culture, because I expected to see that everyone will consider the, situation over their own window. But then what we realized that actually after we just shared our perspective, then we can start to consider what we are thinking, and when we give a value to our voice, I can say that. And of course, most challenging things, I think, time zone. Absolutely, it was very hard to meet and find a convenient time for all of us. So thank you.
Thank you. We threw that at you, so you didn't know to expect. So thank you all very much. It was really fantastic research.